Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Jaylane, and this is your message from Spirit. Today is May 2nd, and I'm super pumped about some great messages that I have here for some wonderful people who really need to know that their loved ones are around. And, I've been doing this now for a little over a year, and the Infinity fan site's going extremely well. Now, I have decided to start publicizing the free, portion of this blog. And so the Infinity fan site, of course, when you join, you just go and make comments at the Infinity fan site, your message from Spirit, and I'll read, what people are writing there, and I'll tell you what my response is. So if I'm hearing, seeing, sensing, or smelling something, I'm going to share that with all of you. And I'm hoping that this video you can share with absolutely everyone. I don't care about that. So share away. If you think it's for a friend, if I'm giving out a name and you're that person, because some people want to remain anonymous, so I'm doing that as well. Also, I have prepared 3 emails for Infinity Soulmates who are paid members, and I am sending every individual person their email this afternoon. So I would be checking your inbox if you're a soulmate, because you may be receiving a personalized, video right to your inbox if you're an Infinity Soulmate. So I'm picking 3 people every couple of weeks to do those readings. Plus, don't forget the contest section if you want to go put your name in there. If there are no names, we're going to draw automatically from the pool. So I'm super excited. Now I want to get started. And for some of you, you may not be able to read some of these questions, because if you're not an Infinity, member at all, you won't be able to go see what other members are talking about. But I am going to go respond to someone that says, just want to remain private. And that's the name of the person. Anyways, it says, hi, Jay. I need to know that this is real. Do we survive death? Do we remain who we are? This may sound stupid, but I really enjoy who I am, who my family is, and I don't ever want to lose that, not even in death. Sometimes I truly believe that there's an afterlife, and then sometimes reality sets in, and I really start to doubt it. I just wish I knew for sure without having to die to find out. I so understand that. I have asked for signs, but I don't think I ever get them. Do you see past friends and family like they were standing in the room with O-N, and I don't know what that means. Thanks. So just want to remain private. I just want to let you know there's a lot of sections here to this question, but I'm going to answer it in sections like that too. So, if you need to know this is real, I totally understand. A lot of people are very afraid to think that there may be another side, or very afraid to think that there isn't. And the thing is, we are very, very fear-based at this end of the fence. And so at the end of the day, if we had a knowing of the other side, and I believe that that's where we come from, but if we had a knowing of that, we wouldn't want to be here. We'd all want to be on the other side, because it's a totally different consciousness altogether. And, just want to remain private. I'm just going to call you Just. But, Just, I'm going to say, do you remember your life before you came into being? And if you can answer yes to that, then I can understand why you'd be so fearful, And the thing is, that would answer so many questions for me, but nobody remembers their life before they come into being. Nobody remembers who they were. There's a total unawareness of who we were, how we chose into coming here, why we choose the things that we do as to why we come here in before life. Why did we choose the parents that we chose? Why did we choose the situations to go through in our life situations? And it's quite simple, actually, because the soul is very highly evolved, and it knows what it needs to learn before it comes into being. It knows exactly what lesson it needs to learn. And so, if you can understand a marble going through all of these little nails, all of this little trail that it's got to go through, and it's kind of kerplunking all the way down, and it's going to land somewhere. It's got to. It could get stuck in the nails, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to land somewhere. Well, the soul's kind of the same thing. The soul's journey is we know exactly what we want out of our journey. The soul is not selfish. It doesn't have an ego. It is not human. It's not male. It's not female. But it knows what it needs to learn, in order to progress to the next soul level. So it may choose some difficult paths. I know that, you love who you are and your family is, but you would never really lose that. I believe that soul groups stay together. And, when people come to see me for readings, I give them dates. I'll give them all kinds of dates relating to their soul paths, because they're going to have situations that are important, birthdays, anniversaries, and passings in those dates. And I find that it makes people's lives easier when they know who their soulmates are, who they know what difficult lessons they may have to go through with someone in particular. But at the end of the day, you're always going to be connected to that soul group. So I could be a mother to my son, and the next lifetime that son could be my father, could be my sister. There's different roles depending on what it is that the soul needs to learn. When you talk about, and it doesn't sound stupid at all, I'm going to tell you that, Jess, but we do remain kind of who we are in a sense. The soul, if you think of a dream, and when you go into a dream, you have a total unawareness of who you are when you're dreaming. You don't know that you're in a house. You don't know who you're laying down beside. You don't know that you have to wake up at 7 a.m. and your alarm clock's going to go off. So that consciousness is different. Same thing as souls. Souls know what they need to learn in order to progress to another soul level. It knows the people it has to pick in its path to go through certain life experiences, to feel things. Because people measure through emotions, through pain, divorces, stage 1, 2, 3, 4. We measure everything as humans, even time. We measure time. And these don't work half the time on me, so I don't know why I wear one. But anyways, so just to let you know, we measure, but there's no measurement of time, distance, and space on the other side. So you don't have to worry about you not progressing through. You've got to go back to somewhere, because you're going back to your original state. So essentially the afterlife has a before life to it, and before you come into being, you're in that state. You won't remember that. You don't remember it now. It's just like you don't remember being born. Nobody really does. You're never going to remember dying. But once you're on that side of the fence, you're going to have an unawareness of this side. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have an awareness of this side. It's just like people, like you say, you're not feeling people. You've asked for signs, you're not feeling things. You know what, Just? Maybe you don't have the ability to feel things. Maybe you're not getting signs because you're not open enough to it. I'm not saying that you're not open-minded. I would think that you're open-minded because you're asking these questions, and that's a wonderful thing. You're wanting to learn. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about your loved ones not being around you when you pass. I believe that everybody gets reconnected at one point or another on the other side. Once you're on that side of the fence, if someone's decided to recycle back into this side of the fence, you're not going to worry about that. You're not going to feel sad about that. You're actually going to be very happy about that, or happy that you're going to see them again. So you don't have to worry about that. So I know that you believe that there's an afterlife, but I would find a lot of comfort knowing that there is an afterlife, because if I thought that there was nothing to go to, I think that would worry me a little bit more. So think of the things that you want, just not the things that you don't want. Don't be so fearful in your everyday life. Live your life like it was the last day on earth, and just really look at it as if, you're here to learn, you're here to live your purpose. And even though you don't know what your freaking purpose is, I don't care what you say, okay? You could have smiled at somebody that needed it this morning, someone that, may have had second thoughts about being here on this earthly plane. There's so many different things that you could have affected, and just, something, an act of kindness or compassion that you've shown someone that's changed their life or changed the way that they think about certain things. And so don't go thinking that there's a big magical ta-da about what it is that, I didn't find my purpose. I don't know what it is. You are living it. I would think you're a female, so I'm going to say you are living it, girlfriend. Okay, so I would really think that you're living your purpose, and not to worry, about your loved ones. When you leave, your loved ones will see you again. You'll be able to see them. Trust me. You will be reunited. You're not going to miss them once you go through to the other side. That it's like walking into a dream. You have an unawareness of this side of the fence, and it's just really beautiful and comforting. And it's just amazing. But anyways, thank you so much for asking that question, because it helps others as well. And I hope you understood my answer. Sometimes I just get right into it and I want to dissect everything. But I got to tell you, I'm just so thankful in my life, even though this kind of job is hard to do for some people. Like for me, it was hard to come out of my spiritual closet, but I'm going to tell you that the more I delve into it and the more I open up myself to it, the more experiences that I have. And I'm really not afraid of that, because I feel that I'm learning all of these things to be able to help other people. And so just maybe look at it that way, and that your purpose is to help others along the path, the things that maybe you've learned, and the things that you've experienced, and just to share anything positive and beautiful with those around you really makes a difference in other people's lives. Anyways, thanks a lot, Just, for writing in. The next person I had was Sherry Cliffo, and it says, "Hi Jay, I recently lost my dad suddenly due to a stroke, and I live in Sudbury, and he was in Nova Scotia. I want to know if he's surrounding me or my kids, and if he's surrounding my mom back in NS, so I'm assuming that's Nova Scotia, and is he happy? I'm having such a hard time grasping that he's gone, and please, if you can help ease my mind. I don't feel him, and I need to know that he's around." And I'm going to tell you, Sherry, I do feel the spirit of a couple of people actually around you, two males and a female, to be very honest, but I would think that your dad's around. When I was reading your comment, I kept on getting the number 4 around you, so I didn't know if it was like the 4th day or the 4th month, which is April actually, or the number 13. 1 plus 3 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, or 3 plus 1 is 4. It could be April with those dates, or it could be 1 and 3 is January 3rd to the 30th, January or October 3rd to the 30th. 2 could be twins, adopted or fostered children for me, or February 2nd to the 20th, or 3-1, which is March 1st to March 10th. And so there's definitely something to do with the number 4. And he says in this mail that I get very strongly around, he says that he's with mom and dad, very excited to see mom and dad. I would think that the male had been gone for a very long time, but I get the sense that someone had been passed away for quite a number of years actually. When I was feeling around that, I was getting a sense of a bit of a social butterfly, to be honest. It kind of reminded me of my dad. My dad, they used to call him Gabby because he used to gab a lot. And so if you think that I talk a lot, it's probably because of my father. But I'm going to tell you, I get a real social butterfly around, and someone that liked either fishing or hunting or the outdoors, or like kind of a he-man. Not like a big he-man, but like someone that kind of enjoyed like maybe the great outdoors, the rough and tumble. My dad did. And so that's why it kind of reminded me, of my father. Anyways, if this is your dad, please say hi to your brother for me. I don't know, I would think that's someone older for you, but anyways, just to let you know that he would come around an older male. I would think it's older male anyways. Sherry, I hope that, you get to feel your dad. It's in the beginning, and if it's not been very long, I know that you mentioned here you lost him suddenly due to a stroke, but you didn't mention when. But I'm going to tell you, recently is what you mentioned, but I would think within the last 4 months anyways, or that could be why maybe I'm seeing 4s. But just to let you know, I get a very strong sense of the spirit around you. I would think that he's around you when you sleep. I would think that he peeks in, a little bit sneaky and funny. This spirit has the ability, and a lot of spirits actually do, because it's a consciousness, they have the ability to be in a million places with one thought. So, when you said that he was in Nova Scotia and surrounding my mom back in Nova Scotia. Is he happy? The answer is yes, absolutely. They're always excited. The vibration on the other side is extremely high, so they're always very, very happy. So you don't have to worry about that. I would think that he's going to leave you signs, but that maybe you're just too heavy in grief, or maybe just too difficult for you to recognize right now. But give it some time and allow yourself to be able to, and even if you think it's a corny little sign, you know what, I would grasp that and I would just take that as your very own, and just to be very open about it, and just ask him for very specific signs. Oh, and just to let you know, you have a little bit of good news coming around you shortly. And I don't know if there's someone around you that's changing jobs or a celebration of a friend getting a new job, but they make me feel rather excited about that. So I don't know why they're talking about that, Sherry, but I feel good. And someone also keeps on mentioning, and I kept on getting January around you, but again, the 13th could be January 3rd to the 30th, but they just make me feel there's something important about January to mention. I want to thank you so much for writing into your message from Spirit and for being an infinity friend. Thank you so much for that. The next person was Donna with no last name, and it said, do you hear, who do you hear? And who I hear is mom. I was hearing mom, Donna, and I had someone that's a little bit overweight, to be very honest. I think about 180, 190 pounds, but short and very, very, as my ex-boss used to say, dodu, which means a little bit heavy set. And so a little bit more to love, I would say. Beautiful, beautiful woman. I would think around mom. Now, this is someone that has very naturally curly hair. So this is not someone you'd want to perm their hair, but very, very thick or a lot of hair and extremely dark. Very, very full eyebrows and a rounded face. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I keep on seeing a little medallion, and I don't know if it's the Virgin Mary or, but if, for me, I think that's what it is, unless it's, I don't know, it looks like the Virgin Mary or a statue on a sort of like oval chain, a pendant. And so I kept on getting that. I also kept on getting the 17th and the 18th of a month, and I would think that November was tied to one of those dates, so either November 17th or November 18th, but they made me feel rather important about that. I also had the sense of someone drowning or someone having difficulty breathing before passing, and they just want you to know that they're not having that difficulty anymore and that they really feel kind of free about that. Now, Donna, I don't know, and I hate to get personal, but you know what? I'm going to say it the way I see it. They made me feel that there was someone in the family that was quite abused by an older male. So I don't know if that's on your mom's side, but I would think so, because that's what I'm getting. And the thing is, I don't know if it was incestual or if it was just like a big, huge, how would I say it? Physical type of abuse against someone really not capable of defending themselves. So I would think of someone under the age of 16. So it was really quite disturbing to feel that, actually. But they make me feel that they repented for that. So in other words, you know, even if people are evil on this side of the fence, and I've had people ask me that, you know, Jay, do evil people go to the other side? I'm going to say yes, because the soul chooses its path before it came into being. So if that soul chose the path, it may have chosen to have an incestual type of relationship so that the people involved can learn from that. You know, maybe the offender had to feel shame and guilt to change its ways, you know, needed the help of someone to do that. Maybe the victim needed to stand up for themselves and speak out and help other people, you know, become an advocate. I don't know, but there's reasons for absolutely everything that happens and every experience that we choose to go through in our lifetimes. And people will say, there's no freaking way that I would ever choose to be molested as a child. Why would you say that? Believe it or not, souls are not selfish when they go to choose their life paths. So the thing is, if you you know, Donna, if that was you, let's say, or someone in your family that was, you know, incestually molested, or someone that was very physically, and I mean quite badly physically abused under the age of 16, I would think that the soul that comes through along with your mother or on your mother's side really is asking for forgiveness, or wants the victim to know, if the victim's still here, and I think the victim would still be here, wants that victim to know that they have had to step in their shoes. They have had to feel what that person felt, the shame, the guilt, the hurt, the pain, the feeling of that terrible crime upon their person, having to feel that. Well, that soul got to feel that, as well as their own guilt, as well as their own selfish needs, as well as everything that they felt during that act, knowing it was wrong to do that. They've had to feel tenfold. And so karmic lessons are a bitch. I'm going to tell you that. If not learned on this side of the fence, on the other side, very difficult. But, you know, if you can relate to that, Donna, I really hope that you would bring that message home to someone, because someone needs to know that. And you know what, if it's, and Donna, if it's not for you, if it's for actually anybody out there that can relate to that kind of life around someone else, please let them know that when spirit goes through, they get to feel the experience and the punishment and the pain, or they get to feel everything that they've imposed on someone right back. And let me tell you, it's not a pretty little sight. They're freed from that. They feel better. They feel connected once the soul spirit goes through that. Once the soul goes through its karmic lesson, it doesn't hold on to that anymore. So essentially it forgives itself so that it can move on to and progress to the other side. It needs to. It needs to. And the thing is, there's so much healing from that. And so the victim, when the victim progresses to the other side, once, you know, once it's their time, and God knows when that is, they will know that. They will feel that. They will understand absolutely everything that happened and why it happened and why it had to be that way. So they will have a beautiful understanding of that. They will have a total relief of that situation. They'll never carry it again, trust me. You know, Donna, thank you so much, you know, for opening that door from spirits to here, because I'm going to tell you that who do you hear question really, really was just so amazing to feel all of that, and to be able to share it with you all, because I think people need to know that we don't carry that stuff to the other side. We don't carry that guilt. We don't carry all that poop to the other side. You need to let it go if you're carrying it here. You need to know that these things happened. They happened to you, yes, but brush yourself off and move on. You know, I'm going to be, you know, doing another one of these in a couple of weeks before I leave for my tour. I'm going to be touring actually Little Current, Sault Ste. Marie, and Blind River at the end of May. So if you're looking, you know, for some tickets, you can certainly go online at mediumjlane.com and check out live events, and you'll find the tickets there. But for those of you who are not Infinity Soulmates or not Infinity, you know, friends, you'll please join the family. You'll see Join Infinity Fan or Join Infinity Club, you know, or fan club at the top of this page, and go ahead and join in, check it out. You know, you may love interacting with other people going through the very same thing as you are. And everybody has grief somehow. Everybody feels, you know, the loss of their loved ones. And I'm hoping that I can bridge that gap a little bit and bring you some relief with what it is that I hear, see, sense, smell. And I want to thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Now, I'm just really excited because I have 3 soulmates that are about to get some personalized videos, so I'm super pumped about that. And so you may want to upgrade to a paid membership, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to love these videos. And if you want to share those private videos, please feel free to do that if you get them to your inbox. The thing is, I always promise the soulmates that everything would be confidential. And so there will be a draw mid-month, for free readings for Skype for up to 4 people, and also for a telephone session for one very excited person, I'm sure, because I love doing readings. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me here today, your message from Spirit for May 2nd, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.